Welcome back, everyone, to another Company of Heroes 2 Replaycast, and it's Jesus fucking Christ. This time it's gonna be a 1v1 sent in by, I just noticed this one is Ketak's replay. So it's sent in by Ketak, the meme king, and I don't know. I guess we're gonna see some interesting things for sure. His enemy is gonna be Cash Me Outside, and he's the USF. Oh boy, oh boy. Anyway, you can see it's unfortunately Холодная Ферма Winter, which is like the most annoying map in the world. And he's going for a second Sturmpioneer. And this guy's going for Assault Engineers. It's almost like this is a long range map. What the fuck? Why are people going for engineers? Oh god, I have no idea. Anyway, Armor Company already picked. Whatever. Yeah, as you can see, here comes the Sturmpioneers, but like even the bloody re-echelons, they can just place themselves in the house, and they're gonna win this engagement. And then here comes the Riflemen. You know, this is why these engineers on this map are not that great. They're just crushed by superior firepower at long and medium ranges. Oh well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Of course, Ketak also going for a Kübelwagen, a smart choice, I would say. Although, needs to use it well and, you know, not getting killed. And of course, here comes the cutoff. You know, predictable, just about as predictable as, you know, America bombing countries. And yeah, here comes the Sturmpioneers trying to get a flank off, but I mean, what's even this? Like, Riflemen are just gonna go back to the church and pray for the salvation of their souls, and probably these Sturmpioneers, instead of following them, should be staying here and capping the cutoff point so that Ketak can get some fuel. But oh well, he's gonna go at close range, this time smartly approaching in the direction where there aren't, you know, a million windows that can fire on these guys. Still though, here comes the support from the Riflemen. Here comes the support from the Rifleman, and now he's getting some good flanking fire on the Sturmpioneer. Sturmpioneers, however, of course, thanks to the fact that they managed to get in close this time, were able to get into the building and secure it. Now, gonna exchange themselves with the Volksgrenadiers, so that's well done. And the Riflemen are probably just gonna have to run for it, run from the divine strength of the Volksgrenadiers. I don't know. Flank! Oh my god! These people know what a flank is. So here comes the Assault Engineers actually wiping out the Sturmpioneers. That was surprisingly effective, and now actually the Kübelwagen is in trouble. Oh, had the Sturmpioneers just chased this guy down for a little bit longer, he'd been in big trouble and probably would have lost the Kübelwagen as well. Still though, well done with the Sturmpioneers. This is exactly how you use these guys, flanks. Because for some reason these guys feel very, very squishy. They die quickly, and there's only 4 of them. They're not exactly, you know, the hardest hitting squad of them all. You know, at close range, the Sturmpioneers do win against them, despite the fact that the, you know, Assault Engineers are a doctrinal unit, so perhaps they should be a little bit better. But, you know, they have a few things going up for them. They can place down demo charges, which of course right now aren't as effective as they used to be. They can get some flamethrowers. They're okay. They're okay. They've got a lot of defenses that they can build, so it's all pretty okay. But again, I don't think that that's exactly all that relevant to this map. It's not exactly the best thing. One good thing that they can do is they can place down good mines. I believe the M6 ones, which are the universal mines, sort of, that can be detonated by everything. I don't exactly remember what kind of mines they can place down, but if I recall correctly, those are the mines that they can plant, and they're pretty good. So of course, Riflemen, you know, just kind of standing behind the truck, the straight truck, and you know, here comes the Kübelwagen, flanking fire from the Kübelwagen, doing actually pretty good against these Riflemen. So that's not bad, but you're dying. He did die. That's hilarious. So Ketak's Kübelwagen not having a good time, although at least he's using his Sturmpioneers to harass down that fuel, just like the engineers down here. The re-echelons were used to harass down the fuel into the south, and now they're trying to cap the cutoff, but yeah, too much Volksgrenadier Kar 98Ks means that they're gonna have to escape. Interestingly enough, Ketak seems to have realized what is happening with the armor company. So he's gone for mechanized regiment headquarters. And, oh boy, we do have the demo charge. Actually, these guys have destroy cover. That didn't used to be the case. And they also have repair critical. I believe that also did not used to be the case. Anyway, decent placement for the demo charge, although what I would have done is I would have put it in this corner of the church rather than this corner, because what can happen with this one is people are gonna move up to this fence, you know, for cover, or this fence for cover, and they're gonna spot this thing too far away for the demo charge to actually have any impact. If you placed it over here, it would be very difficult for anyone, you know, to spot it. They'd have to get around, I guess I would say this, to get the true sight system to, you know, see this corner. And, you know, if anyone, of course, decides to jump into the building, boom. Or even if someone decides to move in like this, you can explode it and do some damage. Still, though, demo charge is pretty hard to use. And, oh, wow, that's pathetic. They actually lost in close range to the Volksgrenadiers. That was probably due to a bit of lucky targeting from the STGs. I guess focusing down on one guy. As for the American teching, of course, there is a captain on the field, and that's okay. Why is there no sound, no music? I have no idea how the sound of Company of Heroes 2 is supposed to work. This game is so inconsistent when it comes to the sound. Half of the time it's incredibly loud, half of the time it's incredibly quiet, and the music just as a whole is just, I don't know, man. Sometimes it just stops working. It's a little Mexican in that. And yeah, right now it seems like Kerak can try to retake control of the right side, but this well-executed rifle push means that now he's in a bit of trouble. Here comes an M5 Stuart. That's a decent choice. It's actually going to instantly prompt Kerak to go after the Puma, just as he had enough field for the Puma, so that's pretty good. You can get the Puma, can, you know, just kind of keep the Stuart at bay. I think that it's a decent choice. And he can use it to good effect. Of course, he's going to need to pair it up, I think, with some Raketenwerfers, so that he can get the raw damage of the Raketenwerfers plus the chasing power of the Puma, and so he can both lure the M5 Stuart into the Raketenwerfer and get some damage done on it, and then use the Puma to chase the thing down and finish it, because I would say that the Puma by itself doesn't really stand much of a chance of actually finishing off and killing the Stuart. And yeah, this guy's gonna die. Wiped. Well done. That was a well-constructed wipe by Kashmir outside. Getting the the Stuart in to do some damage on the Stern Pioneers, can't really fight it off, and then having the riflemen on the retreat path, getting the surround and killing them. Although the Puma's trying to chase the thing down, not having the best of successes at it. Finally gonna recapture that strategic point so that he can get the cutoff. And now he's gonna go down to the south and capture some points there, as the Americans are recovering the north for freedom and apple pie. However, the Germans are down to 413 points with 2 VPs under Allied domination. Whereas, of course, the Allies are up to 472, so that's a 70 VP difference. And now looks like he's gonna wipe out this machine. Lucky piece of shit. Okay, so now he recaptures the center, so that's still a 2-1 for the Allies. And no, why are you retreating away from the Stern Pioneers? I guess he's a little bit afraid of this Volksgrenadier. The Puma still has been relatively unlucky in its hunt for the M5 Stuart. Looks like also the demo charge was blown. Not sure if it did any effect. I can see if any units from Kashmir outside were wiped, I guess. It doesn't seem like any were wiped, so... Oh no, that's actually Kashmir outside. I'm thinking about Kerak. Well, 2 Stern Pioneers were wiped, but I think that those were wiped out by other factors. So yeah, I guess no units died to the demo charge. And the Puma was a little bit unlucky and a little bit overzealous in pushing up after the captain. So the captain gets a lot of damage off, And now the steward is feeling a lot more bold and is trying to push in, but this might be a mistake. Here comes... Oh, wait, no. Didn't have enough munitions for the Panzerfaust, so I guess that's good. And now he's going to get wiped out. Incredibly lucky yet again. Ketok, what a fucking piece of shit you are. Incredibly lucky. Should have died, both, you know, the machine gun should have died and the nasty Volksgrenadier should have died as well. You should have died. You should have died. You should have died. You're Hitler. Anyway, Puma just having a decent day. Oh.
Anti-tank gun, ready for action. Crowds are sniffing around our asses. Tactical point being captured.
Really now? Really now? You're just gonna let your steward die like that? Oh, he missed. That's unfortunate. The Puma died. But wait, he died as well. He got the last shot in at the last possible second. This was just incredibly lucky for Cash Me Outside. It's just a luck fest on both sides. Oh my god. Oh my god. Still though, I'd say that the Americans have an advantage over their opponents because they have better infantry right about now. They have a bit of a more decent springboard into the late game because, of course, they are the armor company. So if they can get up to that tier 4, or maybe even it's not needed, although he is going for the major. Maybe he could have just waited and gotten out a bulldozer. I'm not sure. Of course, the major is more versatile, but with the current conditions that this game is, this game is looking to have, we have that Ketok does not really have any heavy armor, so perhaps the Bulldozer Sherman would be a very good tool to kind of derp all over this Axis infantry. So I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't be that bad of an idea. We'll see though. So as I was saying, the Americans have better infantry. They have, I guess you would say the mid-game on their side. Of course, that's usual with the Americans. And the Axis is looking to get into the late game and survive in the meantime, which of course is going to give the Allies a sort of initiative advantage in this mid-game. That combined with the fact that they're going to have better units, should probably come into the favor of Cash Me Outside. But we'll see if he can use this advantage correctly, which, so far he has been doing. He's been very proactive, trying to get into, good place. Wow, wiped out yet another Sturm Pioneer. That's the third one. And now he's going to try to wipe out this Volks, but of course, these other Volks kind of save him. Schwer Panzer quarters getting set up in the north, doing its thing. Grenadiers ready. Pretty decent choice on the AT, but we see that Ketok is going for the Schwer up here, so he's not going to have enough fuel for vehicles anytime soon. Although he's right now controlling both fuel points, so that's of course pretty good, and he's going to lose that another Volksgrenadier squad. This is another thing that's going very much in the favor of Cash Me Outside. Ketok is losing a lot of units, so that's going to be some good veterancy that he's just throwing down the toilet, and that in the late game, the Allies can use the veterancy advantage plus, the better weapons that he has to really get a lot of good infantry advantages, although I think that this is a mistake. Again, Ketok is losing a whole lot of infantry on his own already. You don't need a M8 howitzer. And had you... you went for the major and then an M8 howitzer. You might as well, if you had gone for the battalion command post and a major, have gone for a Jackson, because if you wanted something anti-infantry, you might as well have not gone for the major at all and gotten out a Bulldozer Sherman, And of course, you can also go for the M10 Wolverine, so I guess he's not really precluding himself to get quick AT, but still, I guess this M81 is doing pretty... Why did you try to throw an incendiary grenade on it?
now available.
And that's going to be yet another wipe. Yep, not lucky this time. So far there's been like 6 wipes, no, maybe not 6 wipes, but a good 4 wipes in the past 5 minutes. So 2 Sturm Pioneers and 2 Focus Grenadiers, yes. So that's definitely not the best. If you're Kedok, he has gone for a Obersoldaten to try to remedy this situation. He's also likely going for a P4 because of the P4 bulletin that he has, and also probably because he needs the extra versatility compared to the Panther. He needs something to really soften up this Allied infantry force, because if he lets these Americans just run around with their freedom BARs and just gaining veterancy, gaining map control, he's not really gonna keep up. He can't keep up because he's been losing too much infantry. So it's kind of a vicious cycle, you know. You lose infantry, and then you're fucked. And then you lose more infantry because you've lost infantry, and then you lose more map control, and you can't get better units to get map control because you've lost map control. And because you can't get better units, then you lose more units because in engagements you're weaker. That's the kind of cycle that Kedok has to avoid, has to get out from. And that's a good thing to do, of course, killing the AT gun. Although, you know, one thing that you could have tried to do is salvage it, but yeah, no, with the M8 howitzer coming in, not the greatest. Right now we do have a couple of Obersoldaten doing their thing and trying to get in there, but yeah, no. Panzerfaust. Yeah. No, run away. This is not a good fight. No, no, don't bunch up more. You are incredibly lucky right now that the M8 howitzer is, you know, dying. And well-placed mine kills the retreating Volksgrenadier. So yet another wipe. Kedok is looking very, very, very much in trouble right about now. If I were Cash Me Outside, honestly, I'd go for, at this point, I would go for a Jackson or M10s and try to destroy the Schwer Panzer quarters and use this 1,000 manpower that I have to get like 2 or 3 machine guns and then cap all the VPs and just place MGs there. Somehow, though, it seems like the Axis is getting, you know, control of center and north, despite the fact that they have 3 infantry squads and 1 machine gun versus 5, 6 infantry squads and 1 machine gun. Although, ooh, okay, see, I was thinking that Kedok was going for the KT, but no, he's picked Special Operations. So that, of course, means Panther Command tank, not the worst decision. Finally, a wipe on the Allies rather than on the Germans. Panther Command tank on the field. What does this mean for this game? Well, of course, the Panther Command tank is relatively good against enemy vehicles. I say relatively good. It's very, very good against enemy vehicles. So it's kind of an insurance that Allied armor will not be that effective. Also, the problem is, or rather the problem is for Kedok that this thing does not really improve his anti-infantry chances at all. As you can see, he's having problems dealing with a captain with 1 bazooka. So, yeah, the Command Panther really is not going to be equalizing the field for, you know, our good Grenadiers and Obersoldatens anytime soon. It is, however, going to slow down or stop the Allied, you know, the Allied ascension towards better armor. But, yeah. So, as the situation grows into kind of a stalemate, we need to see, essentially, what these 2 players are going to do to win the game. The Allies are going to win probably by VPs, you know. At this point, they have VP advantage, and they have better infantry. So what they need to do is they need to use that better infantry to get VP control. They need to destroy this isolated Schwer Panzer quarters so that they have access to this northern VP. And considering how much more infantry, and not just, you know, in general, oh, that's incredibly lucky that this wasn't a few patches ago, because that squad would be dead. So not just the fact that the Allies have better infantry as a whole, it's also the fact that they have more squads. So, because they have more squads, they can just kind of detach 1 unit and send it up north to neutralize these points. which they've been making a big mistake by not doing, because this is allowing Kedok to have an advantage when it comes to fuel, because they have both fuel points, the Axis, and they should not have this. Anyway, if this can be, if this can be remedied for the Allies can get map control relatively easily, because again, like, the Axis right now can cap 2 points at a time, whereas the Allies can cap 7 points at a time. So you can see exactly the difference when it comes to the capping speed and the cap control and the map control and the capping power, all of that. So I don't see why right now Cash Me Outside should be accepting the fact, essentially, that he has less than half of the fuel income and a third less munitions income. This is just absolutely throwing away a lead. So right now what he needs to do is, again, keep control over this fuel point, keep control over this fuel point, destroy the Schwerpanzer, get the VP, use the fact that you have about 100 more VPs than your opponent, try to not really care so much about the VPs in the short term, but then in the long term, you go for triple caps, you go for harassments of the north side, and try to make sure that you can keep control of the center and the south with 2 machine guns, 1 on each place at all times. And then if you can do that, then Kedok just can't do anything. At this point, however, Cash Me Outside is just kind of handing over the game to Kedok by just kind of piecemealing infantry in one attacking axis. Essentially, oh, I'm just gonna advance down south and I'm gonna send my, entire infantry force there. But I'm actually not gonna use their, God damn it. This game is so retarded, it's making my throat burn. Essentially, as you can see, instead of just using all my units there, which can win the fight, I'm just gonna send in a few of the units. And instead of using the other units to attack somewhere else, perhaps try to see if I can cap some points up north or in the center, I'm just gonna sit back. Now he's also moving in the M8A1 howitzer carriage in the sights of a Panther, which of course is not the best idea ever. Plink. This guy is lucky that he did not hit, did not get himself hit in the face with the round from the howitzer. What is this even? Is that an 82 millimeter? What kind of caliber is this thing? 75 millimeter. Oh yeah, right, 75 millimeter howitzer. Anyway, now Kedok can recap the south, because the Allies were idiotic. So if the Allies are idiotic, well, all the better for the Axis. Anyway, so now he's finally moving up north, and see, this is what I mean. Let's check this out. So right now, as you can see, we have a big, Allied push towards the north. Good. I've been saying for a long time, kill the Schwer and then take the north. However, he's not moving up with his superiority. He's both not sending overwhelming force into one area, and he's not sending, forces all over the map. So what happens is he's moving on one flank with essentially a gimped battle group, which could be much stronger had he had this infantry blob over here supporting. In this case, it's only 2 infantry squads, but still, they could provide some vital support. It's a rifleman squad. It's a captain with bazookas. So it would be pretty useful against the Panther. That's one thing that he's not doing correctly. Although, I guess there's another thing that he could do, and send these guys to the south. So at the same time that you're pushing up north, you're also pushing up south and trying to get extra map control and especially extra pressure for Kedok, because Kedok has like 4 units on the field, right? So he can't really deal with all the sides. Also, he's made a big mistake right about now and gotten out of Stuka, which does not exactly improve his map control, map presence situation. But what I'm predicting will happen is, because he's only sent a few units up north, also because he has been really skimping on the AT, most likely the Panther can get up here, either die to the Rifleman, which is one of the things it can do. Die to the Rifleman as in, you know, and he moves in, eats some damage from some sources, and then the Rifleman damage the engine and the Panther dies to the AT gun. Or he comes in, probably more likely scenario, kills the bulldozer or something, and then, you know, retreats back safely to the base because there wasn't enough of an overwhelming American freedom force over here to stop this guy. Still though, very admirable that he's at least trying to destroy the Schwerpanzer. So as you can see right now, the combination of Schwerpanzer and Panther fire easily gonna destroy this thing. Mistimed the anti-tank grenade from the Rifleman first. Yeah, because he's... Yeah, okay, so he used both of the anti-tank grenades on the Panther at once. And actually, the Sherman with the smoke will cover the Panther's advance. Although, he does hit a mine? I think that was a mine. He's right now taking a lot of damage. He wasn't able to destroy the Sherman. However, the AT gun is not moving in, and now the infantry there cannot move in and finish to destroy this guy because the Schwerpanzer quarters is covering with the suppression. Nice Stuka barrage is going to do some damage to the Riflemen and force them to escape. In the meantime, we do have that the whatchamacallit, the Captain squad is trying to move in to destroy this guy with the bazooka, but he's out of range of both the Schwerpanzer quarters and the Panther. No, he's not out of range of the Panther, so why he was not firing is beyond me. In the meantime, the howitzer motor carrier is just trying to destroy the last remaining bits of HP of the Schwerpanzer quarters. He's surviving and, you know, thriving in this environment, of course, along with the support of the AT gun, can destroy the Schwerpanzer quarters. And now with the Schwerpanzer quarters destroyed, I don't really see any barriers to Allied domination of the North. With the 105mm howitzer, you know, back on track and ready to stub it up in the North, I don't see how the Axis can control the North. In the center, we do have some attempts moving in from the Obersudan, but it's most likely not going to be enough. And I think that the Allies are in a great position right about now to just get control over the entire map. So with this anti-infantry kind of focus, we do see that the Allies have managed to get a very good hold, very good grasp on most of the map. We'll see if they can keep it this time. Again, what I would do with the extra manpower Cash Me Outside has is get a couple of MGs, machine guns. They're underrated. They're underrated. Place one up here, place one down here. And the Obersudan squad will not have the best of days. Kerak is going for more Obersudan rather than trying to get, you know, presence on the field. Wow, that was interesting. Destroys the engineer squad that was laying down a mine because he exploded the mine. Also destroys the machine gun crew. Oh wow, this one was actually not even a right, because he did not go for lieutenant. So yeah, back tech lieutenant and get some MGs, man. You're useful. Another Stuka. Really now? I think that this is a huge mistake from Kerak. Because, like, he needs map control. He doesn't need artillery. But at the same time, it's not like Cash Me Outside is really twisting the knife in. Because he's just really playing defensively with what he has. He has a huge advantage and he's playing defensively. And this is just allowing the Germans to get their shit back together. As you can see, now we have another Panther. Sorry, not another Panther. Now the Panther is repaired, and we have free Obersudan. So the free Obersudan can just easily just murk that AT gun crew, and they can murk any rifleman squad trying to approach. Wait, what was that? That was the bazooka. Okay, so as you can see, now the Obersudan kill the MG crew. They kill the captain. They can kill this rifleman squad, and with, you know, 130 free fuel and 900 manpower sitting in the bank for the Americans, we have another wipe on the rifleman squad. We have another wipe on an engineer squad after the first wipe on the engineer squad from the Stuka. We are gonna have the wipe on the bulldozer. We're gonna have the wipe on the A-Maid howitzer carriage. We're gonna have these riflemen being forced to escape back to base. We have that these Briechelons are not using their bazookas in the rear armor of the Panther for some reason, and the whole Allied force has just collapsed entirely. So there goes the M8A1 howitzer mortar carriage. These riflemen are lucky that the Obersoldaten were suppressed by the MGs from the base, otherwise they would have been wiped as well. Right now, as you can see, the Echelon troops finally getting some damage off on the Panther. Had they been doing this for a longer time, they would definitely have done a lot of damage to the Panther. And now the Allied infantry is back to, back to the wall with the base. And, oh well, I mean, we do have a Stuka over here, so I guess they could use the Stuka. Wiped one of the Obersoldaten, but yeah, here comes the Stuka barrage to the base. Will this be another wipe on something? Maybe. Looks like the ambulance is destroyed. One of the Obersoldaten, sorry, not the Obersoldaten, the rear echelon troops is destroyed, and one of the vet-free riflemen is destroyed. So, from a complete superiority for the Allies, we have a complete inferiority. And we only have 2 combat-capable squads. He's trying to get out of Jackson to deal with the Panther, but at this point, like, what he needs to deal with is not the Panther. He needs to deal with the Obersoldaten. So the Obersoldaten are now going to spread around the map and cap points, and I think that that's mostly the end. That was a just total throw by the Allies, although it was not really even a throw because it's not like he did anything wrong. But he didn't do anything right either. He just didn't do anything, as his entire force was destroyed piecemeal, picked off like the pieces of a roast chicken, I guess. Like, I don't know. So what do I even call this? Is it a throw? Is it I don't even know. It's not a throw. It's just he let it go. Let it go. Jesus Christ. That was just such a waste. He was doing so well, and then he just let Kedak pick him off. You know? Yeah, yet another rifle squad, not having the best of days. And he's even recapped the Cuba wagon so he can cap points faster. So yeah, Kedak is now going to chase down the Spore Jackson. Wow. Hello. Second Schwer Panzer quarters. So there goes the Jackson, and this is probably just going to be the surrender. Data Mesher, wipe on the rifleman. No, wipe on another rifleman. Wipe on the rear echelons. Well, not wipe, but yeah, now he's back. And that's the end of the match. He surrenders. So I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. And I'll see you soon. Have a good day.